with Tyler Breeze opening up on his WWE release and details for Samoa Joe's NXT role revealed. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for June 28th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Speaking to Out of Character, Carmella touched on hiring her own crew at home to create vignettes to pitch to WWE. When I was sitting at home, there was no real rhyme or reason. It was just, we don't have anything for you right now. Stay at home until we have a good story. Cool. Then they said they wanted to give me a character a fresh coat of paint, and at first I'm like, I love my character, and I don't want to change. Then I thought it was a good thing to change and show some growth. If I was going to have a new character, I wanted something that would resonate and something I would feel. I made vignettes at home, hired people, created them and sent them to WWE. They were like, this is great, we love it, this is what we're going to do. I thought keeping the Princess of Staten Island, and for the lack of a better term, make her the queen. I know I'm not the queen, Charlotte is the queen, don't get me wrong. But Carmella has grown up a little bit and let's embrace that. That's what we did. The videos I made were a lot different than the vignettes that ended up being out there, but things always ended up getting changed. That's fine. You just take it and do with it what you will and make the most of it. I just knew I wanted to return and make a statement. Luckily, that's what I did. I had an idea for a new entrance and it needed to be different. I loved my old entrance song, so at first it felt weird to not be excited and moonwalk and all that. I wanted to do something different, so I ripped off an old Madonna video for a concert. I'm loving it. I was doing the same character for 7 years, but it's still part of me and part of Carmella. You just have to grow up a little sometimes. Thankfully, doing these vignettes worked out for Carmella. She is now set to be involved in the Money in the Bank ladder match, with her looking to win for the third time. Morrison had become a champion in many promotions after leaving WWE. With his return to the company in 2019, fans felt his comeback was lacking, as Morrison talked about this with TV Insider. In wrestling, things never really go the way you expect. I was really excited to come back and work with Miz. In the Chronicle documentary that talks about my return, Dolph Ziggler is walking toward me while cameras are following. All I did for my debut was open the door and say I'm sorry. Miz doesn't feel like talking right now. Ziggler gives me a high five after and says, "Sweet debut, bro." Did that go how I expected? No. Everybody thinks of ideas on the basis they see themselves as main event guys. I certainly do, but since then, have things gone the way I liked? Definitely, yes. Like Carmella, Morrison is looking to compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match on July 18th after defeating Randy Orton on last week's Raw. While talking to Sportskeeda about making a return to WWE, Alberto Del Rio spoke of the dark place he was in prior to being let go, as he was going through a divorce. Of course, first of all, I would say thank you for the opportunity and sorry for the mistakes I made. I just didn't know. Sometimes I did it because it was personal. Now as a promoter, I know there is nothing personal in pro wrestling, it's just business. I'm sorry for my mistakes. No excuse, but I was going through a difficult time in my life when I got divorced. I lost a fantastic woman, the mother of my children, for my mistakes, and that put me in a deep depression. But that's just for me to handle. It's not an excuse. It takes a toll on you and your body and your mind and your spirit. So I will say thank you and sorry, and I would do it again. After dealing with his ex's false allegations against him, Del Rio is hoping to make a WWE comeback, as we'll have to see if this comes to fruition. With Samoa Joe returning to NXT to be General Manager William Regal's enforcer, he spoke to Out of Character about his release, saying that within a few hours of being let go, Triple H gave him a call. It wasn't unexpected, but at the same time I was relatively calm about it. I've kind of been in this situation before. A younger me probably would have been really freaked out, but at this point you just roll pivot. That's really all there is to it when it comes to life in general. It's kind of the mantra I've kept. So at that point, I think I was kind of in the works and setting up the framework for whatever else I was gonna do. A few hours later I got a call from Hunter, and it pretty much all kind of changed. I got a text back from Triple H, "Hey, give me a minute, getting out of a meeting." We had a brief conversation which was essentially like, "Give us a little bit of time. I'll work on a package and we'll talk soon." Alright, that's totally fine, I have no problem with that. And it led to my return to NXT. Joe brings intensity wherever he goes. His fans are happy to have him back on the black and gold brand. Also on Out of Character, Joe revealed his new role in WWE with him serving as a talent scout. It wasn't just about coming back to NXT and being an enforcer and having a role on the show. I'm working in the talent scouting department, a few more administrative things here and there behind the scenes. It's a little bit of a transition for me too into some of the other aspects of the business of WWE. It was a really great, cool opportunity that Hunter offered me, and I'm still a performer within the confines of WWE. After being with WWE since 2010, Tyler Breeze was recently let go as he's finally opened up on his firing on Twitch, saying I was with the company for 11 years. I've been wrestling for like 14. So on an 11-year run in the biggest wrestling company in the world is like unheard of, you know what I mean? It's a huge thing. Most are only in WWE for like 3 to 5 years. So the fact that I was there for 11, fantastic. More than I could ever ask for. So I mean, I don't know if you're ever like expecting, but I mean from definitely like the rumblings and stuff that have been happening, I was like, yeah, I mean, it could happen, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like if it happened, sure, but if it didn't happen, then cool, you know? I mean, like, just kind of how it goes. The thing too, especially for me, is like I've been prepared to get fired since the day I got hired. When it comes to the AEW unsanctioned Lights Out match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, WWE Hall of Famer Lita told Renee Paquette that it was an awesome match. I did watch it, not initially, but holy right? It was insane. It was great that they got that spotlight, but you need a moment that brings you up from a wrestler that people have heard about to someone that knocks your stock up. I think Thunder Rosa won the match, but it's one of those that's just like, it doesn't matter. They just like tore the house down. There's no counterpoint or counter argument. That was an awesome match. They fully went for it, not for gender or amount of time in the business. They went for it and delivered. It was crazy. After a clip from Joan Rivers' show on E! Network resurfaced on Twitter where the Bella twins mocked Chyna for looking like a man, Nikki has now issued an apology, writing, "I want to sincerely apologize for a comment I made over 8 years ago on Fashion Police. I am sorry and embarrassed by my 29-year-old self who offended Chyna and in turn hurt her family and others. I wish I could take it back. Please learn from me. It's not worth hurting someone's feelings for a meaningless laugh. Chyna will always be remembered as an icon and pioneer who helped create the opportunities for women in wrestling that exist today. Thank you, Chyna." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.